Welcome to PCB tutorial grounding in mixed signal PCBs. It's for electromagnetic compatibility. For the high speed designer has to learn before going to design the high speed design for mixed signal PCBs, which consists of analog and digital circuits in the PCB. Sometimes it consists of RF signals or RF components within the PCB. Then he has to follow some guidelines or IEEE standards while designing the PCB. Signal traces crossing a split ground plane. Here two grounds has been specified here. One is analog ground, another one digital ground. Here one analog ground and digital ground. And analog signals are routed above the analog ground. Digital signals are routed above the digital ground. But in some cases, it is not possible. Then, how to route these signals will be specified by the engineers. And the signal impedance should not be discontinued. If you route the signals on split plane, the signal impedance will be discontinued over the split area, and all the traces here has been designed for transmission line. The transmission line impedance will vary. Therefore, the PCB designer has to take care while routing these tracks and while doing the signal integrity analysis. He has to control reflections, ground bounce, and simultaneous switching noise in the PCB. Now, in this PCB, it specifies a digital and analog area. Digital components has been connected to the analog component somewhere, but a PCB designer's work has to partition digital area from the analog area. Some of the basic thumb rules has to followed by the PCB designer or the high-speed PCB designer while designing mixed signal PCBs. Avoid the ground path loop, and he has to take care of rounding of the return path, and he has to carefully check while routing the signals or after completion of the routing. Ground should be below the respective circuit. Analog signal take the return path analog ground. Digital signal take the return path digital ground. The high-speed PCB designer has to keep it in mind while designing the PCB for mixed signal. If a high-speed PCB designer has provided sufficient spacing while placing the analog and digital components, need not require any splitting. If the high-speed designer split the plane, you have to connect both the grounds using inductor or any resistor or any other component to connect the grounds. If you want to design the PCB for EMC performance, one more method can be followed. For every half inch, connect the analog ground to the digital ground in spreaded pattern, but there should not be analog signals above the digital ground and no digital signals on the above the analog ground. Thank you for watching.